Buzz, thanks as always, first and foremost, for coming out. We do appreciate that. You guys come out of the locker room, and it really seemed like you put a focal point on taking it at them in the half-court straight-on drives, and then you had some success on the adjustment to the no-dribble transition in the second half, no?
I agree. For the most part, we did everything you don't want to do against a team like Citadel in the first half, and then in the second half, for the most part, we did everything you do want to execute. So just looking at the numbers, obviously it was the tale of two halves, but I thought our mentality was much better relative to what you have to do in the second half. Very disappointed, not that they were unaware of what they were going to do, but I thought we tried to play the way they play, and we don't play the way they play, and we don't practice the way they practice, and so it doesn't work like that. And I thought in the second half, obviously much better in all phases, defense, offense. We were much better on out of bounds, much better at the free throw line relative to preventing them from living at the line. They're first in the country in free throw attempts and free throw makes, so obviously that's a big stat. I thought we did a lot better job on the glass, so all of those things.
Yeah, you had 30 assists on your 42 field goals. It seemed like time after time you'd pass up good shots for great shots, which was a point of emphasis.
Yeah, you know, I think honestly, regardless of the style of play, Burnup, we're going to have to continue to be like that. One of the things that I talked to him about before the game was there's 4 categories of shots for us: bad, good, great, and perfect. And what I told them, we'll just make it more simple today. We're going to add up bad and good, and then we're going to add up great and perfect. And we have to have distinctly more great and perfect than bad and good. And in the first half, there were distinctly more good and bad. And that's the temptation, if that's the right word, and how they play, to take a good shot. And the one thing that I was talking to our guys about, because I hear some of the coaches just, you know, in practices or coaching my kids, you know, they say take a good shot. Well, in this game, a good shot really is a bad shot because it plays into what they want you to do. And this was how we played, like I mentioned to you, when I was working for Coach Orr. And it's all about resisting how they want you to join the circus, and we can't join the circus.
Well, it seemed like they did a pretty good job of flustering your guard combination with the denial of just the entry of the basketball and some of the transition things that they were doing. But like you just touched on, that also seemed to be a lesson that was learned and improved upon as the day went on. Well,
I think that was a big part. I'm not trying to coach Duger's team. I love Duger, but I think a big part of what Duger was trying to accomplish was he didn't want to allow the ball to get reverse side, top side, because that is when we're effective. And so they're not face guarding, but, you know, they're sitting on top of everything. And so you can't reverse the ball. And it's going to lead to, again, playing like that, it's going to lead to a quick shot. But you can't play off 1 foot. You have to play off 2 feet. You can't play with one hand. You have to play with 2 hands. And we did all of that much better in the second half.
Yeah, the point guard play in the second half was much better. They struggled with the turnovers, didn't have a lot of points. J-Rob got his 3rd foul. It was a tough half, wasn't it?
You know, that's the first time that's happened to Five since he's been here. And in so many ways, we have a lot of good players, I think. And none of them, maybe Dream has a very distinct definition relative to his game. But I think as Five's career is unfolding, even though he's very versatile, he's beginning to have a very distinct, defined, we need this, you're the engine, you're the keys, we need you to get going. And I thought we managed him and his foul issues in the first half the right way, but really wanted to hurry up and get out of halftime, particularly when he picked up his 3rd.
Buzz Williams is with us in the postgame. Just a couple of more for him. And, Buzz, I wanted to see if you agreed with this or not just because of the statistics for Ty Outlaw and Hadim C today. They're obviously impressive, but I thought it was a step forward in a number of ways for both of those guys in different ways today, and due to that, that's a fairly significant step forward for the team as a whole.
And I mentioned that. That was the last thing that I said in the locker room. You can't you can't get caught up in those numbers because they're so skewed relative to how they play. But I thought that how Ty played and how Dream played was much more effective. And both of their minutes were higher. Obviously, the game's so chaotic. Not all of the minutes look the way that they typically do. Med can pretty much play a 24-hour game, and he's going to have the same pace. But we need those guys to take the next step because they're good players. They both have distinct things that they can do that help our team. And collectively, I think that makes the other guys better because they don't feel like they have to do all of it. Obviously, Ty's, in my opinion, an elite-level shooter when he has 10 toes to the rim. And I've been telling him for 3 weeks, you just have to play harder and you have to play faster, and I completely trust you that you're not going to do anything other than what you think is best for our team. But if I were you and the roles were reversed, I would do exactly what the coach is asking me to do because I've never seen a player 10 games into his career where everybody on the floor, they want to pass you the ball. Like, they want to throw it to Ty because they know it's an assist. And, I'm telling Ty, hey, man, I'm telling you, if it was me, I'd figure it out because I would be shooting it. And that's what he did today. And I just think Dream, 2 blocks, 2 steals, obviously the numbers as far as his points, but relatively speaking, if you just compare data to data relative to today, man, that's really good.
And shut down Najdawi, too.
Yeah, did you like that 3? You didn't even see it, did you?
No, I was talking to Duger, and
that shot
Mason was waiting on me in the tunnel. He goes, Dad, they counted Dream's shot. And I go, what are you talking about?
He launched a 3. You got a new 3-point.
We shouldn't have shot the ball, right? We didn't have to shoot it.
No.
Yeah.
What did you think about Chris Clark's game, a triple-double? I know the numbers get skewed.
I just think he's just a matchup horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think he causes problems because as soon as he gets the ball off the glass on a defensive rebound, he's the best passer on our team, and he's playing to force help to pitch it to somebody else. And he can get downhill. When he gets a defensive rebound burn up, in my opinion, before he crosses the free throw of the opponent, the free throw line of the opponent, the floor is already tilting. And, man, he's so good. And I didn't know that he had bothered his hip. He said he's fine. Ernest said he was fine. But he went a little bit longer of a stretch in the second half, not playing. And I kept looking at him. I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? And he wasn't in a great frame of mind. I just thought it was his mind, but it was his hip. But that's all over. Man, he may lead our team in assists now with that night.
Yeah, if he doesn't, he's getting very, very close to that.
He's approaching it.
With the triple-double today. Buzz Williams is with us, 113-71 the final. I wanted to close with this. We've got a few of our friends from Buzz's Bunch standing behind you right now. We brought in one of your newer members to Buzz's Bunch, Grant Brady, as our streak scout today, and I wanted to show you what you did to my man with 73 points in the second half.
He ran out of paper.
He ran out of paper, but he came back up. Look at that job he did. An exceptional
did a great job
today.
Yeah, our guys, I said it to him in the locker room, we're all blessed, and with those blessings, I think it's our responsibility to be a blessing to others. And in our last Tech Talk, the first quote shirt of the year, and I made a bracelet because that's how convicted I am by it. Our responsibility is not to be a blessing to others. Our responsibility is with our blessings to flip it to others. And every time Buzz's Bunch, obviously some of these, Trinity's been a part of Buzz's Bunch the whole time and drives from Milwaukee every time we have something. And obviously our numbers and families are continuing to grow. I think we had 8 new families come today. And upon arrival, you realized how blessed you are. And upon arrival, you realize how tough they are and how thankful and grateful their spirit is. And it's such a lesson, right? It ends up being selfish, right? Because we're like, hey, you think you're coming here to be a part of the team, and you're on the team, but really we need you here because we need to learn from you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really cool.
Much bigger than the game.